everyone. So good to see you. We're on this journey together, walking, fixing our eyes on Jesus. We're on Quiet Time lesson number 9. There's a desire in human heart. One is to belong. We all want to belong. And the other component to that is that we want to be loved. Wanting to belong and wanting to love are core desires that we have as human beings. But perhaps there's a third component to that, and that is desire to be understood. Husbands want to be understood by their wives, and wives want to be understood by their husbands, and teenagers want to be understood by their parents. Those are powerful words. I understand you. And our behavior and disposition will change when we start to try, even attempt, to understand other people and what they're going through. There's a story of a man with a 5-year-old in a subway train. And the 5-year-old is out of control. He's running around and he's laughing loud, he's talking loud, he's touching people. And this one lady gets so annoyed. She finally says, "Dad, why don't you take control of your child? Discipline him. He's going wild." The dad looked at the lady and said, "I am so sorry. I know I should discipline him. But we're just coming back from his mother's funeral." Understanding that changes everything, doesn't it? I don't think that lady would have said what she said if she knew what he was going through. The question is, though, can anybody really understand another human being? Can the wife understand her husband fully? And the husband understand his wife fully? No, it's impossible. So we give a lot of credit for even trying to understand the other person. Because when we don't understand, we leave gaping hole in the heart of those we love. There's a story of a man named Job in the Old Testament, and he's going through some troubled times. And 3 of his close friends come along, and they say all the right things, but they did not understand the situation. And they leave hurtful talks, words in the heart of their friend Job. But there is somebody who does understand all of us, and his name is Jesus. That's why Hebrew writer says in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 15 and 16, Jesus understands our weaknesses, for he faced all of the same testings we do, yet he did not sin. Do you remember the story in John chapter 4, a Samaritan woman? The Bible says that she comes out in the middle of the day, and immediately, if you know about this region, you wonder why is anybody coming out in the middle of the day to draw water? Because it is hot, 120 degrees hot. Normally the ladies will come out early in the morning, and they will socialize, they'll talk about their husband, their kids, draw water and go home, or do that in the evening. We have no idea why she has married so many times, because if you read the story, you realize she married 5 times. The 6th person that she's living with, they haven't even married. We have no idea. We don't know why she married so many times. Maybe every time she married, her husband died on her. And the 6th one, the man that she's with right now, she's so afraid that he might die, she won't get married to him. Or maybe she lived a very loose life. Right? Very loose life, going from one man to the other, trying to make ends meet for her life. For whatever reason, she didn't have a way to support herself financially. Or maybe she's a beautiful woman. Miss Universe kind of woman, and every man just wanted to get in bed with her. And once they did, they left her. No one knows her situation. Her townspeople didn't. Obviously, they abandoned her. Otherwise, she would have came in the morning with the ladies, but she didn't. She's pushed aside. And instead of coming out early in the morning, she's coming out in the middle of the day. Then comes Jesus. When this woman comes to the well at 12 noon, Jesus waits for her. Bible says that he had to go through. That's not actually truly accurate, because he could have taken a different route. But he had to that day, because there was a child of God who needed to hear that she belonged. She needed to hear that she's loved, and she needed to hear that there's somebody who understands her situation. So Jesus interacts with her, and as the conversation goes, she's surprised. I get the feeling she was thinking, and I hope you read John chapter 4 because it's a beautiful story. I get the feeling she was thinking, when was the last time somebody actually initiated a conversation with me? let alone a man, a Jewish man, a rabbi. And the conversation continues, and there's a point where something clicks in her mind. She goes, wow, he really wants to know me. And she's wondering, he doesn't want to know me because of my body. He wants to know me because I'm a human being. This guy knows everything and understands me. I love verse 28, 29 of this chapter. After the intersection, the word says this, the woman left her water jar beside the well and ran back to the village, telling everyone, come and see. Man who told me everything I ever did. Could he possibly be the Messiah? Do you see what she's saying? First of all, she left the water jar. She was there to draw water. She forgot about it because she's so excited for the fact that somebody actually understands her situation. And then secondly, what she says is telling, right? Come and see a man who knows everything about me, and he's still talking to me. He's not pushing me aside. He accepts me. He loves me. Could this be God, Messiah? Friends, today you are with your family, and it's been a while. Some families, when they're together, they're very loving. They try to understand each other. They try to put their best foot forward. Other families, they get into conflict, don't they? They want it their way, my way or highway. I think the Word of God is telling us, starting today, why don't you try to understand each other? Help them to understand every single one of your family members belong there. And they're loved by everyone, especially the parents. And there's a desire to understand each other. But even if we don't, be comforted, friends, and let them know that there is one who understands all of us, for he knows our weaknesses, because he himself went through them. And that name is Jesus. I hope you find your comfort in that, and as you're going through the circumstances you're in right now, as you fix your eyes on Jesus, know that even if the world does not understand you, there is God who understands you, and he walks with you, and he talks with you, and he loves you. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.